everybody, how's it going, and welcome back to my channel. I'm not really sure if I'm feeling this orange look with the green shirt. It's kind of a weird combo, so I think I'm gonna change it. I'll be right back. Much better. So as you can tell by the title of this video, today we are going to be testing out the Evie blender. Now the Evie blender is a new silicone beauty sponge that has come out. It started out as a Kickstarter project, and I first heard about it because Allure magazine had posted something on their Twitter, and then I went to the link and I saw all these great things about this Evie blender. So I helped fund it in the Kickstarter project, and then they sent me a blender. So I feel like silicone sponges have kind of taken over the beauty world right now. They have the Silly Sponge and now the Evie blender, and what it is, it looks like a beauty blender. This is like a regular beauty blender next to the Evie blender, so it has the pointed tip and everything. Has a little opening in the back that you can put your finger in. Basically what drew me to the Evie blender is, you guys know I'm a huge germaphobe, so I always think about all the little germs and bacteria and everything that could be living inside of my beauty blender, and I get a little freaked out about it, so I sanitize my blender a lot. But with the Evie blender, because it is silicone, you could just wash it with soap and water or rubbing alcohol and it's clean again. So the Evie blender is 100% silicone, it's latex free, and it is hypoallergenic, so this can be used for most, if not all, skin types. Another thing that drew me to this is that they say that you can use less product on the Evie blender than you would on your regular beauty sponge, just because your beauty sponge absorbs so much of that product, but the Evie blender, because it is silicone, it just kind of sits on top and it applies that makeup. For today, I'm going to test this out. I'm gonna do half my face with the Evie blender, half my face with a regular beauty blender. I'm gonna be using a cream-based contour, I'm gonna use a liquid lipstick as a blush, I'm gonna do everything with the blenders, like my whole face. We're gonna start with the Evie blender and then see how the finish looks compared to a regular beauty blender. So as usual, I'm gonna go in with the MAC Prep and Prime Primer. Now that we have that base, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of foundation, and I'm using Kat Von D's Lock It Foundation. This is the foundation that I have been using for the past few weeks. And I didn't like it at first, but it is growing on me. So I did a little pump here. That's about as much as I would use with a regular beauty blender, and I'm gonna go in with the Evie blender. So this is what it looks like up close. They say it is the first textured beauty, silicone beauty sponge. So I'm just gonna dip this into my makeup. And it's crazy because it just like picks everything up and it's not absorbing. So this is gonna give me full coverage. So it says to swipe the makeup on your face. Just gonna go ahead and swipe. And then it says to bounce to blend. So just gonna start bouncing this all over. It's definitely a different feeling. It's a lot harder, obviously. So initially what I like about this is that I can get that precision with my eyeshadow. I did my eyes obviously before this video, and I could get that precision with that line without having to worry about the sponge kind of going over too far and ruining my eye makeup look. That is one of the biggest problems I have with a beauty blender is I'll work on a look and then I'll just smudge it all away, and then I'll have to go in and reshape it. So this gives that perfect edge because it is hard and it's not kind of spreading everything where you don't want it. It's a little awkward around the nose, but I think that's just me. This is definitely giving me full coverage. It's giving me more coverage than I would get from my regular beauty blender. So far, the lines are a little harsh with blending, but I think I just need to continue blending and it'll all be okay. So with the Evie blender, you definitely have to be patient, I'm gathering, because you are going to get that flawless finish, but you really just have to continue to bounce and blend to get that finish. But if you are a full coverage kind of person, then you will love this, because it's definitely giving me the most product payoff I've ever had on a foundation tool. Okay, so the foundation is blended on this side, so we're gonna go over to the other side with a regular beauty blender. I can tell that with a little more use, because if I didn't mention this before, this is a first impression video. I haven't used this. Okay, so foundation is blended out. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but this side is definitely a lot more full coverage. This side is a little more dewy. So if you don't want that full coverage for the summertime or whatever, stick to your beauty sponge. But if you have some imperfections that you're wanting to hide, or you really want that full coverage foundation payoff, I would get a silicone sponge, because so far it's great for that. So next we're gonna go in with concealer, and I'm using the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. I'm just gonna put a little bit of it on the back of my hand. I don't want too much concealer. Again, this is a full coverage concealer, so far what I'm telling from, or what I can tell from the Evie blender is, if I'm gonna use too much full coverage stuff, it's just gonna maybe look cakey. So I'm gonna try to use a tiny little bit of concealer just under the eyes. Okay, so again, going in with the Evie blender. I feel like with the concealer, it's gonna be a lot harder to blend, especially this concealer, because it's so thick. So I'm gonna try to bring this down. Something about the Evie blender too, I'm noticing, is I've never used like a silicone sponge or anything. This is my first time. I'm noticing that it has some mattifying properties. I don't know if it's the silicone, I don't know if it's because I'm getting that full coverage, but it's super, super mattifying. I realized I didn't put the concealer on the way that they had recommended with the Evie blender. I didn't swipe it. I just put it on with a Q-tip and then started balancing it, but that's the way I'm used to doing it. All right, so beauty blender on the other side. Okay, so when it comes to concealer, I can tell so far that with the beauty blender, you are getting more of a natural finish. With the Evie blender, it's just kind of sitting on my face. Okay, now that the concealer is on, we are gonna go in with a cream contour, and I'm using the Stila cream contour. I've had this contour kit for ages. I should probably get a new one. So I'm going in with a Q-tip, and I'm just gonna create a little line here, a little line here. Now, I understand that the Evie blender is advertised as a foundation tool and not for contouring and all that stuff, but I use my beauty blender for contouring all the time, so I just want to see how the Evie blender holds up with a beauty sponge, but it is definitely advertised as just a foundation tool. So what I like about contouring with the Evie blender, I can tell so far, usually with my beauty sponge, I can't get the precision with the contour as well, just because it spreads the pigment around. With this blender, I can tell so far that I'm able to get that precision, but it's just gonna take a little more blending. So I definitely think if you are contouring with a cream contour, go with the Evie blender to blend, because you can't get this precision with a beauty sponge. The real test is going to be contouring my nose, because when I contour my nose, I get so frustrated because it spreads the pigment around way too much, and then I have to go back in with a concealer, and because the whole nose ends up bronzed. So if this can get that precision right on the side of my nose, then that is going to be big. So we'll see in just a second. Okay. Now the test, the nose. Yep, I can already tell I'm going to love this for contouring. It's not going into my eye makeup, it's not going into the center of my nose, it's literally just blending where I want it to blend. I'm so excited right now, you guys have no idea. I get so frustrated with my beauty sponge because it always ruins my eye makeup and it always ruins my nose contour, and this is just giving me that exact precision that I have been looking for. It's definitely more work. It's definitely more blending than I'm used to. The beauty blender takes less time, but for precision purposes, I'm loving the Evie blender. And then we'll do the other side with a beauty sponge. And see, as soon as I start doing this other side, you can tell that it's just spreading that bronzer where I don't want it to be. It's bringing it down here. Honestly, I'm going to do the rest of my nose contour with the Evie blender because I don't want to ruin the other side. If you're somebody that contours your nose a lot or needs a lot of precision with your contour, this is honestly the tool for you. So if you guys watch my videos, you guys know that I like to use liquid lipstick instead of blush. So especially when it gets hotter out, I use liquid lipstick instead. So I'm going to put a little bit over here. When I swiped this, the makeup felt very cakey on my skin because it's all just like sitting there. And then it feels a lot smoother on this side. But I'm gonna go back in with the Evie blender. Okay, so with the blush, it's giving me a very dewy look and it's keeping all that pigment on my skin. So if you're one of those people that really likes to show off your blush, or you don't wear much foundation in the summertime, you just do a little bit of blush and a little bit of concealer, this will also be the tool for you because you're getting that color payoff. It's not going anywhere, it's not absorbing into the sponge, it's just literally spreading everything around and blending it beautifully. I heard mixed reviews about this blender online. Some people didn't like it, some people did. So I was really excited to get my hands on it, and I got it like 3-4 days ago, and I just haven't had a chance to record this video until now, and I have been so excited to record this video because I didn't know what to expect, and that's why I wanted to do like half my face with a beauty blender, half my face with this, so I can really kind of see the difference in front of my face. Like, I won't go on camera and do a video about a product that I genuinely hate, and if I didn't like this product, I would have told you guys, like, you know, like, it doesn't work. Like, it's not that great for concealer. It's good for contour and blush and foundation if you want that full coverage. I think that I'm gonna be doing, like, in the summertime, I'm gonna be doing my foundation with my beauty blender just so I can have that like dewy look, and my concealer. I'm gonna be doing contouring and blush with the Evie blender for sure. Alright, so my verdict between the Evie blender and the beauty blender. So I like this product. I think that it definitely has its pros and cons. If you are looking for full coverage, go with the Evie blender. If you're looking for a dewy finish, go with the beauty blender. If you are looking for a precise contour, go with the Evie blender. If you are looking to just kind of bronze all over, go with the beauty blender. So this retails at, I think, about $24, something like that. I'll link the Evie blender website down below. Make sure to follow them on all their social media. It's a product that's made by a woman, it's run by women, and that is why I wanted to support it, because I want to support all the female entrepreneurs out there. So that is my verdict, I guess. There's pros and cons to both, but ultimately I do like the Evie blender. It is a lot more work for blending. You're gonna have to like really sit there and blend everything out and just bounce it all over, but it's worth it. So that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please let me know in the comments. If you guys have tried the Evie blender, let me know what you guys think about it, and please subscribe to my channel. I try to put out new videos every single week. So until next week, I'll see you guys later.